between the first session and the second session, we were able to conduct a global consultation with parish priests because the contribution or the participation of the parish priests was sort of missed. And I think it was requested by the Holy Father himself that the parish priest be allowed to participate a little bit more. And so a consultation was done here in Rome, and I was a participant there, one of the 5 resource persons. And when we returned to the Philippines, part of our preparation for the continental associations, our continental federation in Asia is called Federation of Asian Bishops' Conferences, and I'm the incoming vice president of this federation. And we organized also a continental consultation. But before that, we asked all the bishops' conferences to be able to give their feedback or reaction to the Synod synthesis report that was the result of the first session. And part of that was also a consultation, national consultation with the parish priests, which was spearheaded by the parish priests who participated here in Rome, because Pope Francis challenged the parish priests to become apostles of synodality. So that's basically what happened between the first session and the second session. And we're happy when the Instrumentum Laboris came out that many of the points that emerged from our bishops' conferences, were integrated into the Instrumentum Laboris. Paolo Rufino was mentioning about the first module and how we focused on 7 themes. And, yesterday there was a funny situation because I noticed it only on the question number 7. When the theme number 7 was being discussed and the president said the floor is now open for interventions, in just a few minutes the intervention, the list was full already. I was a bit frustrated, honestly, because I was still preparing my intervention and it was full already. It was the favorite topic. And what was that? It was the question, how can we develop the foundations of synodality so as to underline the indispensable nature of the recognition and respect owed to people who find themselves living in conditions of particular poverty and suffering? Well, apparently this theme was particularly attractive to the delegates from the global South, Asia, Africa, and Latin America. I was looking at the list of people who had signed up for interventions. They were mostly Asians, Africans, and Latin Americans. And, well, since I wasn't able to give my own intervention, I just submitted it by email. Let me just sum up what I would have wanted to say there, because last year, most of the questions that were posed to me had to do with the migration of many Filipinos. And today I'd like to clarify that one of the preliminary stages of foreign migration for Filipinos is actually local migration from the countrysides to the city centers. And the influx of people from the provinces to the metropolitan centers is presently changing the demographics in many of our dioceses in the Philippines. Like the population of one diocese, very close to Manila, increased from 1.5 million people to 4 million in just about 10 years. And I am referring to the diocese of Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle when he was bishop of the Diocese of Imus. And then after that, he was assigned to Manila and then assigned to Rome, to our great loss, but to the gain of the Universal Church. Well, the phenomenon of local migration is becoming a big challenge to our traditional parishes, which normally cater only to the original residents living close to the city center. Some of the residents in the city would even regard the influx of the settlers from the provinces as a kind of threat. It's quite similar to the kind of threat that, countries are feeling about the influx of foreign migrants. But the same thing is happening with local people in the cities feeling threatened by the influx of migrants from the countrysides. Like they think that the slum communities that are created by the local migration are becoming a breeding place for criminality and drug abuse. So When Pope Francis visited us in 2015, he gave us a challenge. He said, go out to the peripheries, and we took that challenge very seriously. Because we could not get the local migrants to enter our parishes, they are sort of alienated from the traditional parishes, we decided to go out to them. That paved the way for the creation, for example, of 20 mission stations in my own diocese. Mission stations that are church's presence among the poorest of the poor. If the poor don't come to church, the church must go to the poor. That was our decision. And this decision is now pleasantly transforming our parishes from maintenance to mission, because it is giving our traditional parish ministries and organizations the motive to go out to the peripheries. Even that word periphery, was not familiar to Filipino English, and it became part of our vocabulary. And it has been a wonderful pastoral experience that has largely been profoundly affirmed in the past 3 years by this synod on synodality for us.